know the story of Adam's rib, that within 7 days God created the whole heavens and earth, a man and then a woman from his rib, trees, gardens, and animals galore, all in the Garden of Eden, a place that seems to me to be heaven on earth. There's just this one thing, the forbidden tree. Initially, it all seems so simple. God says, let there be light, and it is. Let there be love, and it is. Let there be intimacy, transparency, vulnerability, and it is. It all seems so simple. God says so, and so it is, and so it will be. When in all honesty, there's nothing simple about it. In truth, we have all been from the forbidden tree. Now it is that I have my Adam, and in love and in light is beautiful, not so simple and so complex. What I'm learning about God is that he's anything but simple. It's so much to say, many things to break down, so I'll start from Genesis. I'm not sure where it became so easy for me to let go. Not in a way that's healthy, but in a way that's harmful to me and every party involved. Somewhere along my journey, people became to me like disposable toys, in the sense that while the connection may have been beneficial at one point, when the energy shifts and tensions rise, so do I. I lose interest almost immediately. Maybe I developed this habit as a means of protection, and maybe I needed my ego stroked and couldn't accept what I deemed as rejection. So really, how genuine was my love? Or was it survival? It was an area in my life that became a repeated cycle, that with each blow had me feeling a little less valuable. My forbidden tree became letting go of intimacy and connection versus working through conflict. It was not until I found my Adam that I considered how evolving for the better could and would change my life. For the woman inside of me to evolve, I knew I needed to make some internal changes in order for me to do so. It meant conquering my serpent, guarding myself from idols and fighting temptations. As with everything, serpents, idols, temptations can all be internal and external. It depends on the environment of your mind. Are you operating from heaven or hell? I know all too easily how heaven can turn into hell, that a journey can be so long, far, and wide to get to a place of peace. It all starts with the seed, that seed being our thoughts. In order for me to be this evolved version of me, I needed to analyze what those requirements needed to be. As I am now operating from a place of wholeness, it does not mean that I could not nurture my wounds in order for me to flourish. Meaning that literally meditating on what the new level of Amani requires, being in love with myself and walking in love with another person. It requires digging into the depths of my soul that was once buried, out of means of survival. For me to walk fully in my Garden of Eden that God has called me to thrive in, it requires vulnerability. Vulnerability was revealing to me the endurance of my faith. As I'm more vulnerable with my creating, with my intentions, my desires, my needs, and my wounds, the things that make me bleed allow me the autonomy to be more vulnerable with myself. And in turn, who can benefit from that is my Adam, who sees the depths of my value. Discovering these depths of me has brought me to a new level of transparency that I never knew to be possible. It was internal guidance and shining a light on the fact that just because I survived doesn't mean that I never experienced the damage. Transparency meant acknowledging my broken systems within, coming to grips with the idea that I needed to rescue myself from who I wasn't anymore in order to discover who I could become. It meant releasing self-doubt and self-sabotage, being willing to accept myself and reflect on me without judging myself. Coming to grips with the fact that just because my Adam found me doesn't mean it's his duty to rescue me. It's my job to rescue myself, just as it is his job to rescue himself. Becoming about making informed decisions and not tricking myself out of my blessings. Conquering my serpent. Healing sometimes means owning the fact that we are our own serpent, our own worst enemy. Upon entering my Garden of Eden, I had to walk the path of forgiveness, which starts with extending the vine to myself to produce the fruits of the Spirit. Fruits of love, joy, peace, gentleness, forgiveness, kindness, patience, and grace. This practice determines that the handling of dealing with the nether's transgressions, not just Adam's, but of those within my entire universe. This practice also requires more discipline, allowing myself to commit to the assignment regardless of the position of the journey. Our heart's posture determines our outcome. Discipline to me means remaining consistent with what I say I desire and need for myself in my ever-evolving mind. Remaining consistent to myself and my growth. Following the goals, strategies, and plans that I have put in place. Still holding on to my expectations, but releasing my preconceived notions of who, how, and where the blessings will flow. While internalizing these changes, I'm understanding how to develop thicker skin. Controlling my focus, not controlling what I see, but definitely how I choose to respond. Not letting the noise of the outside sway my truths on the inside or sway me from the truth at all. These truths lead me to a deeper understanding or understanding of what intimacy truly means. Any relationship that only goes as deep as public displays or physicality without any emotional bond is not true intimacy. Deepening our emotional bond means exploring our Garden of Eden with intentionality, even asking daunting questions that one dreads to answer, such as what taunts you, where is your forbidden fruit? These are the things that find a way to creep into the most unsuspected moments of our lives. Serpents are after what we trust as God's vision for our lives, our personal gardens of Eden. What starts as the planting of a seed grows into that of a forbidden tree, a seed that, if not properly addressed, will continue to control our actions. But if we get to the root, we can change the fruit. Changing the fruit shifts our perspective to the truth that we are our own co-creators of our Garden of Eden. Fertilizing my garden soil comes with new depths of spiritual growth. Intentionally praying for understanding in my heart, honoring my personal boundaries, trusting my intuition, using greater discernment, knowing my voice from God's voice, connecting constantly and consistently with my inner child and becoming one with my higher self daily, using my mind's eye and never turning away from the truth. In the discovery of my forbidden fruit, it's about being in the in-between of love. It's about the honesty with yourself. It's about levels of intimacy to experience with another. It's about pride. It's about fear. It's about exploration, endings and beginnings. It's about soils and weeds. It's about the encouragement that we need for our seeds to grow or die.